Hello, everybody. Today I've got like a weird video, a very subjective video for you guys today, since some of you guys more and more are appreciating subjective Mario instead of objective Mario. I was thinking to myself, why doesn't Bandai have a content creator program for the people that make Bandai card games? Like a real one. You know what I mean? That's what today's video is about. Just trying to understand the reason maybe behind it and maybe suggest some future steps or something like that. Now, before I get started, a few disclaimers. Number one, I'm focusing mostly on Digimon, but this does apply to the other Bandai card games, I guess. Number two, I am not by all means suggesting that I should be a Bandai or Digimon card game ambassador. No, not me. No, 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 no. I don't even want that anymore. 2021 Mario and 2022 Mario would have wanted that. Basically, when One Piece came out, that's when I said, yeah, that's enough. So not me, definitely not me. But it could be interesting. It would be a fun thing to see, and that's it. Those are my disclaimers, just the two. Do you think something like that should exist? Should Bandai support their content creators or not? And I guess a third disclaimer, a half a disclaimer. I'm not talking about the people that commentate events or things like that, because they don't even do that right. It sucks. But I've been dying on that ship since basically Digimon started having competitive events. So we're not even going to touch that in today's video. I've said enough about that over the years. That's it. So let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Really do let me know. This is just stuff that comes out of my brain sometimes when I'm thinking. So, why is this video even a thought in the first place? Why did I upload this video? Why am I talking about this today? Well, sometimes I have to do a little bit of traveling for my work. Sometimes, right? And there are some days where I might drive 3 hours, 4 hours a day. Not super common, but it does happen. And I don't really watch Digimon YouTube content or any card game YouTube content for that matter. There are exceptions, but rarely. There are two kinds of content I will really watch. And they are with the sake of learning and educating myself. One is stock market related, and the other is political, particularly U.S. politics, because I think it's just, it's good to know what's going on down there. It does affect us in Canada. So recently, I watch a lot of left-wing content creators because, well, I don't know. Am I allowed to say that I think MAGA is a little bit too much? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. But at least, that seems to be where, it interests me the most to watch the left-wingers react to what's going on in the States. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so there's been this whole debacle on the left wing. This Wired website, released an article a week and a half ago. A dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. And this is interesting for a few reasons. One is because this has actually happened on the right wing, confirmed, and there was backlash over it in the past. But now some high-profile left-wing content creators or independent content creators or whatever have been thrown in this article. And some of the bigger ones have turned this into a whole little explosion, trying to go for defamation and whatever. And for the record, I don't really care. I just think it's interesting that this is even a topic in the first place. Like, some people just want to make that bread. Why is it a big deal? I don't really know. Maybe it's about integrity. Maybe it's about they can't talk about the contract. Who knows? I don't care. But in watching this little explosion and listening to it on my car rides, I think it was Thursday where this popped into my head, and I thought to myself, other card games really do seem to support their content creators, at least to a minimal extent. Why not in Bandai? Like, what the fuck's going on with that? So, to just give you some context, Magic the Gathering is actually the biggest pioneer of this, and they have an ambassador program where they give content creators anywhere from a paycheck to products to open and new cards to go over, and actually supports their growth and content because it's good advertising for them. For real. Absolutely it is. And then, Konami had a sponsorship, had or has, I don't even know anymore. But basically, while it's in the toilet, Konami, at the very least, still sends product to people to open ahead of time for certain creators. And, there's certain things you have to say and do for that, and I'm not going to get into that. And Pokemon does similar things. There are Pokemon content creators, Twitch and YouTube alike and whatever, that they'll send product to and whatever. And they even give Pokemon content creator passes to people who go to Pokemon events and really cool stuff like that. So at least the big three games, Magic being the high end and I guess Yu-Gi-Oh being the low end, do support their content creators and even financially to a certain aspect, which is cool. But instead, Bandai would rather have their own YouTube channel and make stupid videos. I hate to use that term, but like their videos, with the exception of like this EX10 promotion video, barely get views. Like not even 500 views, 900 views, 1,300 views over a month. Like gameplay video, like it's just depressing. Now there are outliers to this, like this DBS, whatever this is, that has 1,000,000 views, and the Digimon online mobile client having 100,000 views. There are anomalies, absolutely, but a lot of these videos just miss the mark entirely. They're not even on the dartboard. They throw their dart and they're somehow missing the dartboard. But that's what Bandai's chosen to do, especially for Digimon. Now, back in the day, I'm going to show you something, a relic of the past. Oh, man. Oh, back when life wasn't as stressful as it is right now, and I haven't aged like 10 years. That's what it feels like. Myself and other content creators in the Digimon space were given product to open for older Digimon sets. Like Bandai reached out to me and said, "Hey Mario, we'll send you a BT5 box. Just say these things and post these things in your YouTube description and whatever." And I did. And it was a really cool thing. And that was in 2021, back when I had faith that this game, was really going to be super supported and, maybe this part-time gig could turn into a full-time gig. Now, not for, again, as I said in the beginning of the video, that's not a thing anymore. I really don't care anymore. I do this just because I want to do it. And if it does turn into something still, whatever. But my long-term goals don't even have this in the mind. But anyway, back 4 years ago, there was a potential. And then One Piece came out. So they used to do stuff. This is proof that Bandai used to do stuff. But they stopped. And now what do? Nothing. Like, the odd Bandai content creator appears here and there. When I say the odd, I mean like East. I remember watching a video or on Twitch. I was reacting to it, where like East was there talking about something with Bandai people. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't very memorable, but it exists. It's a thing that happened, and I think it's happened a couple times. I could be wrong on that, but it's happened more than once. At least that's something, but like nothing compared to even Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, and definitely not Wizards of the Coast for Magic the Gathering's ambassador program. And like, why? Here's why I think it should exist, and why it baffles me that it doesn't. You have these content creators, right, that are willing to make content for the game that already do. Don't think about me. That's fine. Think about like a Vault and East. People that genuinely enjoy the game so much that they make so much content and enjoy making it. Um, and it's content promoting the game. It's not like me where I say something like, "Oh, what did Bandai do today?" Which, to be fair, has been less and less because Bandai's made some good decisions. But, you know, why not have that program to help the content creators even more? Why wouldn't you want to foster that positive spin with the community and use some of your power and your money that Bandai has lots of to kind of funnel into maybe using content creators more so to advertise their game instead of just this shit, like that shit. Like, why does it exist? Like, don't get me wrong, Pokemon does this shit too, but in a previous video I talked about this, right? And like Iono and this, night and day, you know. But still, even with that, Pokemon does their promotion with the content creators. And, you know, you'll say, but Mario, these three games are bigger than the Bandai games. You know, why? Who cares? And that might be your opinion. But for me, this is just an opinion piece. Like, why not? When content creators, you know, make videos, you know, it indirectly advertises the Digimon TCG. Like, you know, if I go to a Vault's channel right now, right, and I'm an Vault viewer, and I click, and I see his most recent video, a Digimon. Give me a Digimon one. Oh no, oh he's getting Gundam pilled. Oh no, I watched this best 10 decks. This is not going well. I watched this best 10 decks video, and I see, oh, you know what? Maybe I wasn't thinking about opening some BT22, but now I am, because I want to maybe build some of these decks. You know, that's indirect advertising for Bandai. So why wouldn't Bandai put more money into it to create more advertising? Their exports, their imports would equal their exports on a relationary basis. I'm tired. You know what I mean, right? You understand the point I'm trying to drive home. But let me tell you something, and you can even kind of see it just here, ironically. Digimon TCG views on YouTube have decreased dramatically over the last 4 years. And anyone that's been following Digimon for the last 4 years knows this. If you don't believe me, look it up. But in 2021, this game was fucking killing it in content creation for a bit there. And then One Piece came out. Oh, fuck. And it's just, you hate to see it. You really do. But again, it goes back to this, why doesn't Bandai do it? I don't think Bandai really cares. I think Bandai prints what they print, it sells what they print, and they call it a day. They walk away with their paycheck, and they say thank you very much, and have a nice day. And I think that's what it is. So, like, why not, you know, pay some content creators, or at least send out some product again like they used to do, and just promote the game through content creators who are doing this out of a service. Yeah, you have some content creators that are doing this for their paycheck, for their livelihood, you know, Vault, East, in the Bandai space, generally speaking. You know, there's Eggman now with One Piece and Gundam and all that, and there's Karn EX with Digimon in the most general sense. But, like, why not pay and why not help your game through your content creators? And as an added bonus, your content creators will be more incentivized to make content for the game. They'll be happier. There'll be more content. And through the advertising, probably even more views, which will even help Bandai more by selling more product. You know what I mean? And you'd think that the 5th year of Digimon would be a really great year to step things up. And to give it credit, in some areas, Digimon has stepped up in this year compared to previous years. But I just think this is an incredible missed opportunity. You know, instead they have their Bandai channel, and, you know, with the odd hit here and there excluded, it seems like a swing and a miss when they could just be paying content creators to do it for them, which will have more of the views than 590 views in 4 days or 833 views in a month. But what do you think? What does my audience think about this? Do you think I'm crazy? Or do you think there's something here? Do you think this is an incredible missed opportunity? This is an opinion piece, this video. I don't see the benefit, in not doing it per se. I think Bandai should do this. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I guess I'll see you later. Bye!